right, well, good evening, everyone. My name is Kyle Cooper. I'm the president of the Chicago Police Board, and I'm now calling the board's May 15th public meeting to order. We thank CAN-TV, as always, for covering this meeting. It's being live streamed at cantv.org and on the CAN-TV app and televised on CAN-TV 27. Along with myself, we have the following board members attending in person this evening. Vice President of the Board, Ms. Claudia Padillo, Board Member Tyler Hall, Board Member Catherine Liss, Board Member Arlette Porter, Board Member Justin Terry, and Board Member Cynthia Velasquez. We also have Board Members Stephen Block and Andrea Safakis on the phone. They are unable to attend this meeting in person and would like to attend remotely. Is there a motion to permit them to do so?
So moved.
All in favor, please raise your hands and say aye. Aye. Oh, sorry. I need a second.
I'd like to second that.
All in favor, raise your hands and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes. In addition to the police board members, we have the following city officials here with us this evening. We have the Chief of the Chicago Police Department's Office of Constitutional Policing and Reform, Angel Navales, representing the Superintendent of Police, Mr. Larry Snelling. We have the Interim Chief Administrator of the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, Ms. LaKenya White. And we have the General Counsel of the Inspector General's Office, Mr. Nathaniel Wackman, who's representing Deputy Inspector General for Public Safety, Ms. Tabara Richardson. We have the Deputy Director of the Chicago Police Department's Bureau of Internal Affairs, Mr. Timothy Moore. And we also have the General Counsel to the Superintendent, Mr. Scott Spears. And as always, we have the Police Board's Executive Director, Mr. Max Caproni. We will now proceed to the items on the meeting agenda. Is there a motion to approve the drafts of the minutes of the board's public and closed meetings held on April 17th?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, raise your hands and say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Hearing all ayes, the motion passes. The next regular public meeting of the board is scheduled to take place on June 18th at 7:30 p.m. And that meeting will take place where all police board meetings do, which is right here at the Chicago Public Safety Headquarters. Please note that next month's meeting will take place on a Wednesday instead of a Thursday, because the third Thursday of next month is Juneteenth, which is a city and federal holiday. The police board meets in executive session to discuss various matters. Those discussions are closed to the public as authorized by Section 2C1, 4, 11, and 21 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act. Information on matters discussed in the executive sessions is included in the minutes of the meetings posted on our website. Is there a motion to close a series of future executive sessions as authorized by these sections of the Open Meetings Act?
Yes. So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Hearing all ayes, the motion passes. The next item on the agenda is an update on the arbitration proceedings. As we have reported on at previous meetings, the Fraternal Order of Police, which represents Chicago police officers below the rank of sergeant, has appealed two rulings that are part of the March 2024 Cook County Circuit decision that allows officers to choose to have the most serious cases of police misconduct heard by an arbitrator rather than the police board. The case is currently before the Illinois Appellate Court, where the union is challenging two aspects of the district court's or the circuit court's ruling. First, that arbitration proceedings be open to the public, and second, that accused officers may be suspended without pay while their case is pending. The Appellate Court has scheduled oral arguments on this matter for June 17th. It therefore will be at least several months before the Appellate Court decides this case. And after that, there may well be an appeal either taken by the city or by the union. 4 new disciplinary cases have been filed with the police board thus far in 2025. 3 of the 4 cases involved officers accused. 3 of the 4 accused officers, have requested arbitration, bringing to 19 the total number of cases currently before the board in which the accused officer has requested arbitration. These cases are on hold, and there will be no arbitration hearings until the establishment of a public arbitration process. And there can be no police board hearing on these cases without the consent of the accused officer. 5 police board cases, however, are moving forward because the accused officer elected to have the board hear their cases rather than wait for arbitration. The Police Board's website, chicago.gov/policeboard, will continue to keep the public informed of any new developments and the ongoing litigation and the status of any new disciplinary cases before the board. I encourage you to check out the news and information section on our website for the most up-to-date information. The next item on the agenda is appeals by disqualified applicants to become Chicago police officers. When a person who applies to become a Chicago police officer is disqualified and removed from the eligibility list as a result of a background investigation, that person has a right to appeal that decision to this police board. The board, as authorized by the Open Meetings Act, has discussed in closed meeting two appeals this month. We will now take final action on those appeals. Is there a motion to affirm the disqualification decision for the following appeal, 25AA05, and reverse the disqualification decision for the following appeal, 25AA04?
Yes, so moved.
Second.
I will now call on the members of the board for their votes. Board Member Badillo?
Aye.
Board Member Block?
Aye.
Board Member Hall?
Aye.
Board Member Liss?
Aye.
Board Member Porter?
Aye.
Board Member Safakis?
Aye.
Board Member Terry?
Aye.
And Board Member Velasquez?
Aye.
I also vote in favor of the motion, and the motion passes. The written decisions of these appeals will be entered as of today's date, sent to the parties, and promptly posted on the Police Board's website. At this time, I would now like to call on Chief Navales to give the superintendent's report. But before I do so, I just want to say to the chief and to all the members of the police department who are here with us this evening, myself and several members of the board had the pleasure of attending last week's award ceremony. And I just wanted to say it was a great event, and it was fantastic to hear about all the hard work and dedication that the officers in the city have performed and who were deserving of the awards they received. And I just wanted to pass on my congrats to those officers and to CPD as a whole for continuing to do great work to keep the citizens of the city safe.
Thank you very much. And if I have the opportunity, I will make sure that I pass that on to our officers. Good evening, everybody. My name is Angel Navales. I'm the Chief of Constitutional Policing and Reform. And once again, it is an honor and a privilege to be here on behalf of Superintendent Snelly. As always, I will take copious notes of your concerns, and I will make sure that they get back to the superintendent and they're addressed immediately. So good evening. This week marks National Police Week, a week that honors the heroism and the bravery of law enforcement here in Chicago and throughout the country. This year, members of CPD, including Superintendent Larry Snelling, joined the families of the following officers: Luis Huesca, James Crowley, Enrique Martinez, in Washington, D.C. for Police Week. The names of our fallen heroes have been added to the National Police Memorial in recognition of their sacrifice and their courage. And our superintendent is there to accompany and support the families. We also recognize the work of the officers, the work that they do every day to keep our communities throughout Chicago safe. And we also honor those officers this week, as you mentioned, at the recognition ceremony, and we're very proud of the work that the officers did. Some of you were there in attendance, and it was a great opportunity to come together and honor the officers that protect our city. Earlier this month, we hosted the annual St. Jude Memorial March, which returned to us on Michigan Avenue for the second year in a row. Recruits lined the route with the names and photos of all 606 fallen Chicago police officers who have been killed in the line of duty. This emotional march pays tribute to our fallen officers and our Gold Star families, many of them who were in attendance. As we head into the summer month, we are continuing to make progress reducing violent crime. So far this year, we've seen a 24% reduction in murders. There has also been 33 less shooting victims and 32% less shootings compared to last year. We're also continuing to see significant reductions in robberies citywide. Compared to 2024, we are seeing more than 1,100 less robberies, a 37% reduction. The Robbery Task Force, which involves both the Bureau of Detectives, the Bureau of Patrol, and the Bureau of Counterterrorism, have been working to address robberies through on-the-ground missions and investigations to hold offenders accountable. While this is progress, there is more work to do, and we invite all communities to partner with us to ensure that we achieve that safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Navalis. At this time, I'd like to now call on the Chief Administrator White to give her report.
Good evening, all. I would like to report out a few data sets from April. COPA received 330 complaints and notifications. 88 of those investigations are under COPA's jurisdiction. 37% of COPA's allegations are Fourth Amendment / improper search and seizure. COPA also received 2 officer-involved shooting notifications. COPA closed 76 investigations in April. 20% of the closed cases had at least one sustained allegation. For video releases in April, we did 2 video releases. One was for a fatal officer-involved shooting near 900 East 100th Street, and the other one was an unintentional discharge near 4800 West Monroe. For engagements, COPA attended 21 community engagement events. Before I conclude, I would like to take a moment to highlight the Community Mediation Pilot Program, which is an alternative dispute resolution model administered by COPA, which we envision as a tool to bridge the communication gap and establish a better understanding and mutual respect between community members and the Chicago Police Department. COPA has hosted 3 community conversations and 4 community meetings with district council members designed to provide a format of engagement that allows community stakeholders to provide input and feedback on program policy, operations, and staffing community mediators. Most recently, COPA hosted 2 roundtables discussions that captured feedback and comments from a diverse group of CPD members who held ranks that range from commander to patrol. We look forward to hosting our final roundtable next week with representatives from the police union. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Administrator White. At this time, I would now like to call on members of the public who signed up in advance to speak. And to make sure that we have time for everybody who signed up to speak, and I think we will, please limit your comments to just 2 minutes. And Vice President Badillo will be setting a timer to that effect. So if you hear that go off, please conclude your remarks. With that said, the first member of the public who has signed up to speak is Ms. Jennifer Edwards.
I try to be understanding of all sides. I consider myself a progressive, but also from the old school. In the last couple of weeks, we have had teenagers coming out of schools. Hyde Park High School is one of them in the 3rd District. And they just immediately start fighting. And so our officers from the 3rd District had to go over, and they jumped on the officers, some of the ones that we know, knocked them to the ground. Some were arrested, and then some were told, they were told later to let them go, okay? So we were kids, okay? I was a Catholic school girl, so I couldn't do much, okay? But we all were kids. We all had these feelings of wanting to do things, whether it was double dutch or whatever we did. But when you start messing with our officers and the ones that I know, I think it's time for us as community people, if we can't get the city to do these snap curfews, then we need to go to our legislators, okay? I'm going to mine, and I'm encouraging people on CAN TV to do this. Now, there is a law, and I'm not a lawyer, but I'm gonna read it. That's on the books. Okay, wait a minute, let me find it. Hold on, please. I was supposed to be ready, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
This is, it's an Illinois law that states that the parents should be responsible for any damages that the kids may insure, okay? That's property damage, that's whatever else. and it's not being enforced. And the police are not allowed to do these things. The police are handcuffed. They can't do anything. They have to stand up. They have to take all of this abuse. I think this is wrong. We had a couple of people, the last couple of meetings, to come and talk about, they were upset about the kids just going out being wild and doing what they wanted to do. I'm gonna go, but.
Yeah.
But I think that we're gonna have to do this because we pay taxes, telling everybody. We want our neighborhoods to look a certain way and be a certain way, and we vote. So I'm telling everybody, even the people on the police board, we gotta do something about this because this is wrong. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Edwards. The next speaker who signed up is a Miss Donna Olivares.
Good evening, members of the board. Deputy Chief Angel Navales, thank you. I'd like to just piggyback off of what Ms. Edwards had said earlier. As a citizen and protecting those students that do participate and do try to do good, I would like to make a suggestion that in the arrest of the students, please arrest the parents as well, fingerprint them, and throw them in jail with the students so that when they go to apply for mortgage loan, car note, now they have a record. Also, as citizens that have worked hard to protect their homes and their families, hose them down. Bring the hoses out. You have my permission, along with property owners, to bring the hoses out. As teenagers, we know we smell ourselves once in a while, and it doesn't hurt to clean our city streets. Bring the hoses out, hose them down, and next, the dogs. Thank you.
The next speaker we have signed up to speak is Miss, I think it's Aisha. Sorry, sir.
Hi, my name is Ashish Shaji. I'm an Inglewood business owner since last year. So I'm under 7th District Police Station, and they are doing incredible job since day one. They were attending my calls and addressing the issues I have, especially business license officer. But the main problem I have is drug dealing in front of the business. That's not just the drug dealing, they are selling it to the teenagers, underage, and plus they drink in front of the store in the car, and that can cause drunk driving accidents, and the list is long. So what I do, I watch the camera all the time. I made more than 500 calls, 911 calls, I have the records. So, but I think so many businesses are scared to call the 911 because they don't want their presence, police presence in their business. But I made a decision that as long as city gave me the license, I should obey the city law. If you see something, you need to talk, you need to tell. So that is the main part I'm doing throughout. But if this the way the drug dealing in Inglewood goes, that will affect the younger generation. That will affect so many working people in Inglewood. I personally know they care about us, and they don't like these things there. So this is the major concern I have. In front of me, I see the kids, 14-year-old, 13-year-old buying drugs from the people. They don't care about the younger generation. So that's the main serious issue I see. Yeah. Yeah. So if we leave this like this, that's not good for the city, for the community, for the families. So.
Thank you, Mr. Shiggy.
Thank you.
The next speaker who signed up to speak is Evangelist Lattice Porter, Lattice Porter.
Good evening. Thank you all for all of your service, and thank you all for coming out. I'm Evangelist Latisse Porter. For some of you that may not be on the board that know who I am, I spearheaded the Million Woman United Family March in D.C. last summer on the 23rd. But I've come out to a couple of meetings to see if we could get the superintendent. We're getting ready to march in Woodline. I also happen to be a Woodline leader, which is the quad. I cover the 63rd and Stony, the Obama Center, all the way to Cottage, the businesses and the residents. But one of the things that I'm a substitute teacher as well in Chicago that I don't agree with right now, and it's not to knock down anything, but it's because the children, I have a nursing background, and the frontal lobe of a child is not fully developed like an adult. So we cannot execute some things because they are young. Nonetheless, we do have to address the issues. I'm currently getting ready to go to a meeting next week in Hyde Park, because that's in my quad, concerning what Ms. Jennifer and the other lady just got through talking about. So the first thing that I would like to do is we're having a march on June 18th, which is to bridge the gap between the police and the community. I waited because we had a May 3rd date, and I wanted the police superintendent to be on board because I thought it would be important for him to be present. Nonetheless, because our violence is escalating, we need to just go ahead and march, and it was something that he wanted to see us get together. It takes a village. We are the village. And even we have to be the village for the parents because they're not educated on some of the levels that we are. So it's to bring healing to the community. We're gonna end up in the parking lot of the 3rd District Police Department. They already have a program in place that they give every year, to my understanding. We're partnering with them. We're gonna march from 63rd and Cottage all the way to 71st, which is the 3rd District Police. So I'd like for you all to be present and on board if you can. Have the superintendent out so we can change what's going on in our community together. God bless you tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Porter. The next individual who signed up to speak is Ms. Patricia Puente.
Thank you very much. My name is, thank you very much. My name is, Patricia Puente. I'm here because summer is already here. And I noticed that I'm fighting noise ordinance, that the people have their loud music. They're gonna start having their barbecue and all that stuff. It's 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning with the really loud music. Now, I do know that there's, I have it right here, now I don't know where I put it. It's happening. I do know that there's an ordinance that states that, I wanted to read it, I had it right here. The civil right, not the civil rights, what am I saying? Sorry, here it goes. The Noise Ordinance Code of 1961, Section 27 in Illinois. If you make noise that interferes with the enjoyment of life before and after hours, you're violating a state ordinance. The reason why I'm saying this is because my neighbors have their music and they have it really loud that I could listen to it all the way, even if I put earplugs. And they just say, you know, we know people from the city. We know people from the city. And I'm like, what does that have to do with respecting thy neighbors? God said, love thy neighbors. And I'm going to go, sorry with the guy, but I say, respect thy neighbors, please. The other thing is that my neighbors, they know they're police officers, and when they come, they just ignore me. This is what one of the dispatchers told me, it's okay to have loud music. And I'm like, no, it isn't. But summer's around the corner. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Puente. And if you want to stick around, I'm sure you can speak with Chief Novales or another officers here who's, more than willing to talk with you about how to address the situation. The next speaker who signed up to speak is Mr. Edwin Castro White.
Good evening. So, as an open gay man who served 5 years in the United States Air Force, on April 19th, was discriminated against by 4 off-duty police officers at a federally funded event. And my question to you, Chief Novales, is how do you plan to address this issue?
I have one quick question so I can provide the proper guidance to where you need to be. Were you able to lodge a complaint with either COPA or our Bureau of Internal Affairs?
No, I have addressed several aldermen on this complaint, and I have not gotten any correspondence.
You know what, after this, if you can see Deputy Director Tim Moore from the Bureau of Internal Affairs, and we'll make sure that we lodge a complaint so that could be looked into.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Castro White. And then the final speaker we have tonight is Pastor Doyle.
For the record, D-O-Y-L-E, this land is your land, R-Y, as the 19-year-old Marine in that picture going across the table. So this adds to what Mr. Castro White was trying to say, because here's the rest of the story. On April 19th, Miss Jeanette Beatrice Taylor, born today, 50 years ago. Her venom was directed towards this Marine in the 4th Ward at King College Prep. So Mr. Castro White was collateral damage because one of the officers does, Chief Novales, have a record of being homophobic. So I've already made it clear to multiple elected officials, the same Jeanette Beatrice Taylor, who famously, if you Google, there's a picture of her in the face of former Mayor Lori Lightfoot. That picture, meaning she is pointing down at the former mayor. And as Attorney Cooper has seen in at least one text, today my focus isn't her 50th. It's a business owner who passed from this life, who's also came to this life on May 15th, who meant something. She just left this life earlier than expected. So on the 6th was Mr. Hall's birthday. I related versus ever. But starting with Chief Administrator White, yeah, there are aldermen and alderwomen who are running scared. I need Jeanette out of that seat because on April 19th at King College Prep, when you are seen by multiple individuals directing towards me, he's new to politics, I am not. I'm a 22nd district resident. And so meeting with the current president of current president of the FOP recently, I have his full support. I have multiple white and Hispanic elected officials' full support, because at the end of the day, that could have turned out worse at King College Prep because of her venom, her anger, and it could have been held and handled differently because this Marine doesn't run. Whatever anger she has of what's not working in the current administration, don't bring it to me, bring it to the current mayor. Meanwhile, this Marine expects her out of that seat. Take it for whatever, however you like it, because at the end of the day, when you come for this Marine, I was a Marine before I was a minister. And if you want the fight, only one of us will be left standing.
Thank you, Pastor.
Have a good day.
At this time, all members of the public who have signed up to speak have spoken. Is there a motion to adjourn the May Police Board meeting?
Yes, so moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
The motion passes and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody.